Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the weekly objectives for the Stop Bugging Me event. They are slightly interesting this week as we have some that we haven't really had before, mainly the one that we accumulate event gems from, where all we have to do is win PvP battles, so something you'd pretty much already do, you'll be rewarded for this week, so that is pretty nice. We do get Brian the Lucky from it. Brian the Lucky is mainly used with Humility, since both of them can increase all of the skills of your allies by a random amount. This is mainly used to upgrade your magic on a troop that utilizes magic really well. Maybe it does damage to all enemies, or just does true damage, or gains souls or something, and you'll be able to do that to get the magic up really, really high. Of course, a 1 in 4 chance, but if it triggers, it'll be really useful for the team. But will be really, really easy to do this week. All you have to do is just do PvP normally, and you just have to do 150 battles if you want to get all of the rewards. I will be doing a video later this week. I'll finally be doing the 2.2 best teams video, finally. So we'll probably have that out this weekend, which will help some with that as well. But let's go into the other ones I can show stuff for, like the Bugbear. If you use them in Explore, we will be getting 400 bonus gold. The team I will be using for this, well, let's just actually find a kingdom first. That is Challenges, not Explore. It does only work on Explore this week. It is really not that worth it, mainly because the event gems are incentivizing doing PvP, so you're mainly just going to be wanting to do PvP. But here, I have a just modified version of the Rowan Valkyrie team. This is mainly just plopping in the Bugbear, just so we'll be able to get that nice extra 400 gold per battle. But again, not really worth doing this week since you get rewarded for doing PvP, and you might as well do PvP because the rewards for doing so is already pretty decent. So we'll throw that down. I was going to swipe, but looks like we'll completely miss. We need to try getting that Rowan up, so we'll go for the Valkyrie right there. Get our manas from the green, and as long as one of those surge, I believe that is full, and of course it does not surge, we'll just have to swipe again and then just clear them out, and then we're good to go as long as they don't revive on anything. It may sometimes take 2 casts depending on what your Rowan's stats are, and of course if one of them was to revive, like him on a 25% chance to do an Ancient Horror, then we would have had to have casted it again. But anyways, as far as the other events this week, there are 25% to orcs. This is pretty much useless, mainly because a lot of the orcs in the game right now aren't really usable and there's no synergy among them, so you don't really need to do that. But what is pretty decent is the 25% bonus to goblins, because there's a lot of different all-goblin combinations that we can make. I showed one the other day. We have this guy with the Bugbear, but personally, let me just go over to my absolute favorite. Let's see if we can find something other than a Bombot team. It's just going to destroy itself. So, okay, a little bit annoying with a Bone Dragon. I think I'll skip this one only because it has freeze. Whenever you use all goblins, you do want to try avoiding freeze. This is a little bit of a weird team, but I guess we'll go up against it. But it is this, my absolute favorite all-goblin team in the entire game. Also relatively easy to build. It's a rare, ultra rare, rare, and ultra rare. I do it with a red-yellow banner. This will help get our Goblin Rocket up nice and quick. And everything about it has really, really good board control. Everything does board control except for the very last troop, which is why he's in the back. He's just there mainly for damage. The main component that we're going to want to keep getting mana for is our Goblin Rocket. He'll be able to generate mana just from using his ability. It'll also allow us to control the board a lot better if we can just keep spamming it out. Right here, I'm going to go for the yellow and hope we get a skull. We didn't get a surge, so we didn't get all of our mana. We're really unlucky this time around with our surges, basically getting none at the moment. So we'll just go for some green right there. Hope for either those 2 browns, and either of which we get. Ideally, of course, we would want to go for that Goblin mana, or the Goblin Rocket mana. They're all goblins. Which Goblin? Yeah, just get it on the Goblin. Okay, so that'll kill out something. One of the sacrifices, that's going to be a little bit annoying though, because with the double sacrifice, that is going to give it a good amount of HP. But right here, we'll lower that down, get ourselves a skull, try getting that out of the way. We'll throw this down too. Maybe we can get some greens off the top, just keep poking it out. And we can just take that skull and do the final hit, get our reds, and we're good to go. Keep going. The general premise of any all-goblin team is just to keep them extra turning as much as you possibly can. Of course, some of that time will have to be used accumulating mana if they can't really get going. They're not really a type of team that can loop too well, but they are really good at just constantly keeping it on your turn. Something else, if you're earlier on in the game, all Goblin team is one of the better builds that you can make, because all the components are relatively low rarity, and they all get extra turns, so it's pretty easy to use extra turns, since there's not much you can really do with them for the most part to mess them up. So when you're first starting off in the game, trying to learn all the mechanics and everything, it works out pretty well to use all Goblins. Also, if you want to set as your defend team, the AI in this game is pretty decent with using all Goblins. Well, it just removed our green right there. That's going to be slightly annoying, as that is one of the primary colors of any all Goblin team, is keeping as many greens on the board as possible. That's also from our Goblin Shaman, because our Goblin Shaman creates them, and then we can easily get it for whatever greens we happen to be using. Almost every Goblin uses them. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Goblin Rocket's the only Goblin that doesn't use it. I believe that is correct. I didn't double check that, but I'm pretty sure Goblin Rocket... Oh, and Nobin Brothers, sorry, yeah. Goblin Rocket and Nobin Brothers are the only two that don't use green mana. Okay. Well, let's go and... Which one should we go here? We'll go for the purple. I do want to keep as many greens as we can, just in case we do get a Shaman out of nowheres. We'll just wipe this somewhere. We could remove the blue, I guess, even though we don't use it. Actually, let me just do it for the red. Get our Goblin Rocket going again. So we automatically get our extra turn, get our Goblin Rocket up. Not too many really good casts that we can do on this at the moment. We can get some blue, but we don't use it. Don't see any extra turns. Nope, doesn't look like much that we can do here. So probably just lower that down then. See what we get from our Cascade. And okay. Get our browns aligned, and perfect. We get a nice little Goblin Shaman in there. That'll give us the greens that we need. That's one of the main reasons we need to keep greens on the board, is for that. And before we do anything else to the board, we'll always want to throw down all of our extra turns, because you never know when you might just randomly get some mana that you need. So let's try lowering this down. Can we get anything over in this area? Doesn't look like it, so we'll just swipe the skull, whip into the yellow, have our Goblin Rocket back up so we can go right back to controlling the board with whatever we may need to do here. Still not much we can set up. I might even just take this purple into red. Probably be the better option right here. Ooh, that would have been nice if we could have gotten that yellow right there. I might still try for it. We died right there. We still do have our Goblin Rocket, of course, so we'll try for it. And nope, we don't get it anywhere. But even if we had a yellow there, it would have worked in all three locations. Unfortunately, didn't go to any of them. So we'll just move that up, get both of them. Ooh, slightly off. Do need one more little mana take on him. We give some browns, but it doesn't use it. And we can just throw the last little Hobgoblin. Oh gosh, stop summoning. Why am I not aiming at you? Because you're the one summoning everything on the enemy team right now, and that is not good. So we'll just kill that out. Okay, hit both of the targets we needed it to. Really nice. I'll swipe it that way just so the Cascade doesn't accidentally give him green. Don't want that to happen. Some nice skulls right there. Might even be able to take it for full mana if we can get a purple drop, so we'll definitely go for it. Nope. Didn't get the Cascade from it, unfortunately. We'll just take our skull, and the burn will kill that out. Actually, on that previous move, we might have even been able to align the purple. We'll throw this down. Take the skull afterwards. Doesn't look like we'll have anything else. We'll throw that down. Unfortunately, of course, the burn doesn't really get to do its effect, but don't want him taking the skull, as we are starting to get really low on durability right now, to the point that it could probably win. One thing to note about Goblin teams and why you may not see it as much is, well, there's two reasons. One is Freeze is really good against it. And the other reason is later on in the game, as you can see, it doesn't always work out the best. There are a lot better troops these days, at least later in the game, that you can use. Earlier on, it works pretty well because you get the high team bonus, you get all of the, pretty much everything you'd ever want from a team. And is that the match? It does look like it. Killed by a 3 HP Silver Draken. Is that match? We'd have to get the most luckiest Cascade ever for this not to be match. Let's see, how lucky can we get? Because that will be enough damage. We can't Oh, we could probably agile it. We have a 20% chance. Should we go for it? I know yesterday the AI was agiling like crazy. Let's see if we can get lucky. Even if we do, we won't be able to win. That's just going to be delaying our lose, because we're going to be 1 mana short. Nope, we didn't agile. Ah, killed out. Well, that's Goblin team for you. But let's try it again. I'm pretty sure we can do a little bit better than that with a Goblin team. What are we up against this time? Queen Mab? Nope. Hardest counter in the game is a Queen Mab. Don't want to do that. Here we go. Emperor Corvash and stuff like that. Let's see if we can do a little better this time around. That's funny. It's like, you can't mess it up. Just mess it up. No, but earlier on in the game, you can't really mess it up. Main problem with later in the game is everything's upscaled to the point where tapping them over and over again doesn't really work. Same thing goes with like skull spamming. If you are a single troop skull users, you can get away early on in the game with just buffing up a single troop as big as you want, and then just one-shotting the entire enemy team one by one. Later in the game, you normally can't get away with that, unfortunately. It's definitely fun doing it, but unfortunately it doesn't normally work. Black Beast is about the only thing that can sometimes make it work, simply because it can get it so quick compared to some other troops. That and Cauldron, because Cauldron doubles the amount of tap. But looks like we'll be going a little bit better this time around. I'll make sure to focus out their summoner this time, like that giant spider. I do want to get Corvash out of the way first, mainly because he is going to be pretty annoying regardless, and looks like we have some better board alignment, or at least I'm finding better board alignment this time. So we'll take those purples right there. Be amazing if we could get some Goblin Shaman mana right about now, so we'll throw that down, see if we can get some brown cascades off the top. Doesn't look like it. Might just take one manually like this one and hope we get a red. Okay, no red, but at least we have Goblin Shaman. He's taking our green, so we won't be able to utilize that. Would ideally want to take Goblin Rocket mana right now, but none available. We'll just throw that down, get our nice extra turn, get almost all of our mana up. If we had a +1 on our banner, that would have been enough. The main reason I have it on red-yellow right now is mainly to rush up our Goblin Rocket, because that has a lot of potential on him, since he can even generate mana as well on top of his ability, which is one of the main reasons I do it for him. Of course, the Goblin Shaman can too, but I just find the Goblin Rocket to be a bit more consistent. Okay, so that's going to drag it a little bit too far down. We can try for a Skull right here, which would hit the Valkyrie, because that's going to kill the Emperor Corvash, which we do get, so pretty nice. Okay, take our blues into reds. Yeah, we'll just take that. Get almost all of our mana. Ideally, we'd want to red again. If we take yellow, most of that mana will just be wasted. Might swipe this and hope we get green. Or we could go for the consistent brown. Let's actually go for the consistent brown. It'll get a skull out of it, but we'll get some healing, so that'll make up for it. We'll just throw that down. Shouldn't miss. There's quite a few greens on the board, and nope, we don't get a single extra turn. I was definitely hoping for it, but we'll just go on red instead and get both of them up from that. I'm going to throw the Goblin Rocket first, because the Goblin Rocket will decide what we actually aim at with the Hobgoblin, so we'll do that. That will hit the skull, get the kill, and now we know that it's going to summon a spider, because we don't have anything to be able to do the rest of the damage. Same thing that happened last match, except not as annoying. Let's see. By the way, Kushtarnex is still glitched, by the way, to do slightly more damage than what it says from the previous battle. So it is one of the strongest legends in the game right now, which is why I tend to use it quite a bit, the Kushtarnex strip. It's mainly because it has like a 1-to-1 ratio instead of the 1-to-2 that it says on the card. I don't believe it's going to be coming into the drop hole event before the next... it's not going to be coming in before it's going to be nerfed. Or, well, not really nerfed, but it's going to be made to do what it actually does, because the next patch is coming within the next 2 weeks or so, I want to say. They haven't given like an official date, but the new kingdom is coming about around that time, and both of them will essentially be right on top of each other, as they normally do when they release them. Okay. Kraken, don't you dare devour. Well, there goes a spider. He's just making a wall in front of him. We really need to focus him down with our Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin is, unfortunately, our only targeted damage in this particular team. Normally, that's not too big a deal, but it seems in these two battles, it's definitely becoming a slight issue. Well, we can kill that out and then do a skull. I may even just leave the skull there for the purpose of distracting him. We'll have to see what happens from our cascade right here. Okay. So I'll probably take it myself because we have a chance for red. The only, I don't know. Let's see. No, I'll actually give it to him. We'll take that out of the way. And just get all of our reds. Might even distract it again and just lose one of our troops. So we'll get our brown. So we get both of them up. We'll have our goblin rocket ready to fire, which we'll hopefully be able to use on something. Let's throw this down first, as long as this doesn't miss. And good, it didn't. So we get all of our mana right there. We'll throw that down and... oh gosh, which one do we aim at? I guess I start on Kraken. If that thing gets to Devour, we are as good as dead. So we'll throw that right there. And no, don't you dare. Okay, I think we recovered. Yeah, we'll throw this down. Hopefully those purples are still there. Most likely not. No, they're not. Oh, some of them are. But there's the damage we need. Good. Now this is how it's supposed to go. Keep going like this. Unfortunately, it doesn't always do that. Yep, we can get away with it again. Take our greens. Throw... actually, it doesn't really matter which one I target. It's going to hit both of them regardless. Anything we can drop for extra turn? Doesn't look like it. I'm trying to see if these greens will in some way, shape, or form be able to do it. It doesn't look like they can. Even if I do it right there. I could just drop them for a 2-drop, I guess, and make them match instead of trying for something. We'll do that. And we get a skull out of it, so there we go. Now, that's what the goblins are supposed to do. First 25% isn't really too big a bonus. I'm personally not really going to be using them for the exact reason you see now. They work pretty good when earlier in the game when you have that nice little magic bonus, but all that single target that you do doesn't normally rack up enough. If you're past like about level 500 or so, you're normally just better off doing full AoE and just like anything that can hit all enemies, or just skull spam in general. But those are the events. Pretty straightforward. Just basically do PvP for the most part for this week, as it's going to give you the most reward. You don't really need to do the Bugbear and Explore, because PvP not only would give more gold, but it would also give you the event gem for the week. And as far as using Goblin and Orcs, really no need to use Orcs because they're pretty bad at the current moment. They might be buffed next patch. And Goblins, definitely if you are towards the lower level range, definitely do the all Goblin teams. But keep in mind, the later you are in the game, the less effective those kind of teams are. And never, ever, ever use them against freeze teams. Particularly Queen Mab, Borealis, or Ice Golem will just completely destroy them because their extra turn cannot trigger when they are frozen. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.